All right, guys, here is the notes for 6.3 that you girls didn't get to do today. Our essential question is, how do we evaluate expressions using variables? All right, so first of all, what does evaluate mean? It means solve, right? Or get the value of something. Expressions are math sentences, right? And variables are the letters that we see in math equations. So the actual definition of variable for math is any symbol that represents an unknown number. So basically, it holds a number's place. All right, so like if I was at a amusement park and I wanted somebody to hold my place in line, I'd be like, hey, dude, would you be my variable and hold my place in line till I come back? And he'd say, yeah, no problem. All right, so there are 3 ways to show multiplication. And it's important to be able to recognize all of them, because you will see them all in one form or another. Okay, let's say I wanted to do 4 times c. Okay, there's my variable, 4 times c. So I can show that in this way, 4 times c. No, that's actually 4 ways. Okay, so I don't want to use it that way because that's the way that we see all the time. I want to show you the different ways. So if I wanted to show 4 times c, sorry, I don't know why thing's doing that. Okay, I would do 4c, right? If you see these two together, I'm having technical difficulties. There we go. If I have a letter and a number together, this is multiplication. So 4c, that means whatever the value of c is, I'm going to multiply it by 4. You will also see it as 4 times c with parentheses around the c. You'll see that more with numbers, like if it was 4 times 2, it'd be 4 and then the 2 in the parentheses. The parentheses tell you to multiply. And then you'll also see it with a dot. So 4 dot c. So those are 3 ways besides the normal way to show multiplication. All right, let's jump right into a problem. Oh, my thing is being so touchy right now. All right, so let's evaluate. Yay, we got it to stay. All right, let's evaluate. That means solve 10a plus 7. I swear I'm not hitting anything. If a equals 1/5. Okay, so if a equals 1/5, again, sorry, not my fault. Okay, so I'm not going to guarantee this. All right, so we're going to put 1/5 for a. So it'd be 10 and then 1/5 in parentheses plus 7. All right, so I need to do my multiplication first as per the order of operations. So I'm going to do 10 times 1/5. And since this is a whole number and this is a fraction, I got to put my whole number over 1 and then multiply across. 10 times 1 is 10. 5 times 1 is 5. So now I have 10/5 plus 7. But I can't just add these together, and I don't want to make this over 1 because then I'm going to have to find common denominators. But I can see that if I simplify this, then I will have 2 plus 7, which equals 9. Next problem. See if we can get through one without having technical difficulties. Okay, evaluate 9e squared if e equals 1/3. All right, so 1/3 is going to go in for e, so now I have 9 times 1/3 squared. All right, so this is a pretty loaded problem. First thing I need to do is solve the parentheses. Well, the parentheses is actually an exponent, so I'm going to do that. So my exponent then is 1/3 times 1/3, which is 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 3 is 9, 1/9. So now I can do 9 times 1/9. So this is 9/1 times 1/9, which gives me 9/9, which is the same as uno. All right, a couple more notes and a couple more practice problems and we'll be done. Okay, so one thing you need to understand, not me again, is if you are not given a value for your variable, such as, a equals 3. So if you are not given a value for the variable in an equation, solve for the variable using inverse operations. And you guys should be familiar enough with inverse operations to get through these problems. All right, we're going to solve g minus 3 equals 7. So g minus 3 equals 7. Well, inverse operation says I've got to do the opposite, or in reverse. So here we have minus 3. That means I'm going to plus 3 on each side. This cancels out and leaves the g all by itself. That's isolating the variable. And 7 plus 3 is 10. So g is 10. Okay, how about solve 9 plus w equals 17. 9 plus w equals 17. All right, so even though these are flip-flopped, this is actually a positive 9. So we can do the opposite of positive 9, which is negative 9 from both sides. This would cancel each other out and isolate the variable. 17 minus 9 is 8. Okay, you can go back and double check these by putting the numbers back in. 10 minus 3 equals 7. Yes, it does. 9 plus 8 equals 17. Happy days. All right, 2 more, maybe? Okay, here we're going to, let's solve 4x minus 32, or equals 32, sorry. I'm mad at my computer. 4x equals 32. This is a multiplication problem, so I'm going to do the opposite, which is divide, so I can isolate the variable. What I do to one side, I do to the other. 32 divided by 4 is 8. Plug it back in. 8 for x times 4 is 32. Check mark. Last one before my computer really messes around. All right, solve a over 3 equals 7. This should look familiar to you. Okay, here we have a division problem, so I got to do the opposite, which is multiplying by 3. Crosses out each other and isolates the variable. And we multiply 7 times 3 on the other side, and we get 21. Plug it back in. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Yes, ma'am, it is. Okay, have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow morning.